got tender, loving care. Welcome, everyone. Today's topic is, well, let's go to our God Tender Loving Care store. I usually let our store guide us so that we can do research and improve our store in the process. Now, if you ever want to be part of this God Tender Loving Care podcast, feel free to reach out. Again, you can go to our website. Our website is payhip.com, God Tender Loving Care, as you see here. And you'll click on, so for those who are blind or visually impaired, payhip.com/God Tender Loving Care. Payhip is payhip.com/GODTLOVINGCARE. Then you're going to find our contact information. Send us a message, put your first, last name, email address, message, and that way you get in touch with us. And I mention this because as a teacher of the DHH, as a vision teacher, as a special educator, as a general education teacher, I'm a veteran teacher. I've been in the teaching game before I even graduated from college. I've been teaching, and I worked with learners all across the Midwest who are blind and visually impaired, and I feel that accessibility is important. So this is a podcast for everyone. I have a great background, and if you have a great background as well, or you want to talk about life or anything on your mind or anything that comes up on any of our podcasts or research, reach out. We would love to have you on. So as you see, actually, let's go, and now you should be able to see what I'm looking at. I'm looking at God Tender Loving Care store. It's our online store. Now, as you've seen it from our last podcast, we've updated it. Yep. Now I'm still working with my photographer, Anjali, who helped photograph one of our ebooks that I will show you and speak a little bit about. So let's go into the ebook. As you see, we've updated our store. And the book that I am referencing is a book that we were very fortunate and blessed to have worked on in La República Dominicana, the Dominican Republic, de Dios, por Air Diaz y fotografía por Angeli Ishvara Rivera Diaz. So that book is actually on sale right now. One of our it's an anthology. And don't let it confuse you. The book is in both Spanish, English, Spanglish. So if you know some Spanish, awesome. If you know some English, awesome. This is a book for people who want to learn, Spanish or English, or if you know a little bit, you can probably figure it out. I love these types of books because they're puzzles. You have reference in one language that can help you with another language. So it's a book for everyone. If you want to speak English, hey, we have something for you. If you speak Spanish, we have something for you. And we have beautiful pictures and images because that speaks to everyone. So let's go all the way to the beginning of, well, the most latest updates that we've made. So as you see, we still have some coins, collectible coins and jewelry, God's money on sale. Many different metals and of many different countries. So I want to share some updates. So we have 3 new kids book here. Kids love these books. You can access these books on your tablet. Tablet, you can print it or keep it on your tablet. So we have Princess Anjali, Aviva Goes to the Moon, and Captain Anaisa. So if you are interested, check that out. Now we are going to venture into some of our latest updates on God Tender Loving Care. So for example, we've updated our music selection. We have a total of 3 songs ready from our new album. Our new album, it's a work in progress, but it is titled GODTLC Gold Platinum, and I'll get into that in a moment. Now, one of our first albums here. Now, I have a great extensive background in music. I've performed all around the world. I've made different types of music and with big artists and local artists, different venues on the God Tender Living Care platform. But here it is. So let's go back to that. So here we have a lot of books and ebooks and movies because these are things that we've worked on for years. We built inventory on the store, and And it's actually on sale right now, God, Heaven, Earth. You can actually even live stream it. You can stream this song. We usually have holy book study session, God Holy Book study sessions every now and then on our YouTube channel or other platforms. You keep contact with us. You can probably join us and share your favorite passages from your most favorite books, texts. Let's go into our album here, God, Heaven, Earth. If there are any typos or anything, we'll make corrections along the way. So this is a picture actually from, I believe, Bangkok, Thailand. My wife and I went there to go teach and did a lot of photography capturing. And that's actually when I was working on one of our major projects, Street Talk. It's an ebook that I'll show you in a moment if you haven't heard about it already. But we have God, Heaven, Earth, one of our first music albums here on our website, um, ready for you. And the price may change, may fluctuate depending on demand. So let's go to our book here. We have Street Talk. Now this is when well, this is really my first published book. Um, bestseller. A.I. Rivera, illustrated by the studios. This picture you see here is in Canada, I believe, Ontario, Toronto, Canada. Street Talk, we went all around the world capturing the best pictures and murals. And we wanted the pictures and murals, the street art, to have conversations with each other. So I kept all the original pictures, did some editing, some color correction with my multimedia background and photography background. And my goal was to have, what do these pictures communicate with each other? We go all over the world and we always see art, 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 and this art here, beautiful, free. So this is an entire ebook that was once available in hard copy, but due to inventory, is now only available on ebook. So it's very accessible to everyone. Um, so as we say here, requires engaging monologue because we show you images and we want you to, for example, decipher what does it mean? What do these images, what do these murals and street art represent? So this one here became the cover of a picture because when it was it was so magical. It was such a magical experience in Toronto, Ontario, um, that I cherish. And it's a location, Canada, maybe even Niagara Falls, Toronto, Ontario. Um, without breaking the bank and with opportunity, definitely visit that location again. Um, so north of us, here from here in the US. So let's go back to what I was actually going to show you. As you see, everything here has some continuity, a lot of continuity. So the reason I brought that up is because um, we captured that picture of me with that goddess in Bangkok and Thailand where we were teaching and also working on a ebook, Street Talk. Um, very blessed, very fortunate. And this was also on one of those educational adventures. Education has allowed, has provided opportunity to travel all around the world, be of service and earn money along the way. Be financially affluent, but those trips are very pricey. So if we do that again, then it'll be it'll have to be worthwhile financially so that we can afford that lifestyle. We want it has to be an asset rather than a liability. Um, so we like transforming assets and liabilities into assets. We want to remove liabilities and only have assets. So the first song on GODTLC Gold Platinum, and I'll get into why we named it that in a moment, is Let's Get It Started. Um, Now there was so much that happened and so much experience and memories created from this song all the way to probably the last song in my last album, my last music album published that's available. Constantly writing, constantly reading, and I have a veteran experience making music and let's get it started just came to me. So I don't have the lyrics here yet, but what you do get for this price is an MOV of the song. So you can it's not the official music video, but it is an MOV um of this image and an MP3 if you prefer, to pause the screen, go for it. Work. This is a great workout song. Let's get it started. Peace at the party. Bring your favorite book and water to the party. Well, here's me, man, going through health, you know, health. As you probably know, I've trained in martial arts my entire life. My father was a boxing champion in the Caribbean, and I'm used to parties, like real parties, not necessarily, monocultural party, but diverse parties, multicultural parties, many different languages, salsa, merengue, bachata, like dancing and hip hop and reggaeton, toda esa cosa, ¿entiende? So we got Let's Get It Started. It's a positive song. It's such a positive song. I wanted to create a mainstream sort of vibe that's positive, where you are inspired to do good in the world. You're inspired to take care of your body. I believe that your body is a temple. Um, Me personally, I don't have any earrings. I grew up, back in the day with earrings, but I don't do that anymore. And I did that because it was just regular in the style. It's a style of the hair. Yeah, earrings. Um, I never got any tattoos. The time that I had with my father, I just very old school, very preserved, very faithful, very athletic and health. Why do that? Let's train. That type of mentality. ¿Para qué tú vas a hacer eso? Vamos a entrenar, things like that. And this is someone who served in the United States military, who was just trying to, get their mind right, get their body right after serving in the Army, Vietnam, what that did to the body and the mind. And for someone to be considered 100% disabled after coming back from Vietnam. And, something, and I got to experience it as my father's primary caretaker as a young kid. So let's get it started as for my military heroes all around the world, man. I understand that I almost became an officer in the military, a police officer as well. So I was, debating those two careers growing up, especially with my mixed martial arts background. I thought that, be a great service in those two sectors. I even considered the FBI. Um, and let's get it started. Let's get our mind right. Let's get our body right. And, you know, for me, I was working with students and I wanted my students to, I graduated from there. And I remember having the dare sheriff at our school, and I valued that. I valued exemplars who actually lived the lifestyle, um, and faith and worship, and of all faiths and worships, God, a higher purpose, and treating our bodies and ourselves like spiritual sacred temples. And, I've always valued my relationships to be that way too. Yeah, I'm not gonna let you take advantage of me. Yeah, I may have a hard shell. But that's something I've developed. There's a lot of trauma in the world, and I say that, my family, myself, those are obstacles that we overcome. So let's get it started is a song to put you in the right mood. That I'm not talking about alcohol. I'm not talking about drugs. None of that. I've been in those circles. I've made those types of music. Um, been in those types of studios and settings. And Let's Get It Started is something I recorded in my home studio that I finally was able to build and carve out for myself. That's still in the works and still works in progress. And it's a song that, man, if I gotta go to the gym and work out, or here at home, or walk around my neighborhood with my dogs, or something like that. And I do suggest, if you walk around your neighborhood, male, female, whoever you are, dogs. Good, train your dogs. If you're a young kid, train your dogs. If Just for safety. Um, and Let's Get It Started is just such a positive song. I think about this song, and karmically, when you write or you make music or you read books, sometimes you can even feel the karmic presence of what you're reading. For example, like in Islam, and Muslims who are, have studied Islam in the Quran, There's this notion of halal money. Is my money pure? And riba. Um, and what do the banks do with our money ultimately, right? And and this is a philosophical conversation, are you then liable if the banks does something bad with your money, right? Like invested in something that you don't agree with? Because you did decide to bank at that bank and you did decide to, make that deposit, even if it isn't your bank account. So that's just a question to consider, from anyone. Anyone can answer that. If you're a banker, answer that. I'm not offended. Um, these are just conversations that arise that I want to share because I've traveled the world, spoken with many different people. And I'm someone I can relate to anybody. If you have a story to tell or share, then hey, share it. If you want this platform, Got to Living Care podcast, to communicate with someone, right, of a different ideology, let me know. And, we can get that network started. So let's get it started. I suggest, if you want just a positive vibe and song that you can listen to over and over and over, then you listen to it. Um, it's such a positive song. And that's what I have to say about that. It's the very first song on our um, GODTLC Gold Platinum. And again, this might change. We're 3 songs in, um, and I'm constantly writing. And this cover here, this background, that's our album cover. It's all original instrumentals. I created all these instrumentals, and then I created the words. I wrote the words, and I recorded it, and edited, and I saved all these files. And I still have to back up with these files in case I want to improve. And if I ever make improvements, and you bought a song, and I always make sure that I'll keep an update. Like, oh, update, we updated the songs. Maybe it's higher quality, or we added something. Um, because until it's published, I'm sharing these songs as singles, and I'll give you a song for I'm not gonna charge you extra. I'll send you the song if you paid for the original and you need some updates. Um, but yeah, this is the first single. That's why it's very affordable. Let's get it started. I captured this picture, I believe, in it's a also surprise. I was working out street talk, and that's a temple in Singapore. I'm walking around Singapore with my wife and classmates and people learning and different professions and learning about Singapore. And the employment rate is like everyone is employed in Singapore. Everyone has a job. No one has no job. And I was so surprised with Singapore that their unemployment rate is like virtually zero. Everyone works year round. Everyone has a job. And like, wow, like I think that's the only country that can say that. Like there's zero homeless rate because everyone works. Everyone has a job. Like, wow. And this, I came across this temple. Like, I'm like, whoa, walking around looking for murals and just exploring. I didn't search for murals. Murals just sort of like showed up, like they just popped up. And we just went on scenic walks and spoke with the locals and ate their beautiful, delicious food and got to know who they are and had conversations and asked questions. And it's just very educational. And I remember seeing this across the road from me. And I was like, oh, let's go that way. What is that? And I believe this is on, I believe, Serangoon Road. I didn't even know that I captured the street name. So if we wanted to, we could go back. But yeah, we captured this, and I didn't know much about what you see depicted here. And I unintentionally like started, these gods must have see felt me, and all of a sudden I see, I'm studying who they are and what they represent. Um, so yeah, let's get it started. I can keep speaking. We're gonna have a lot more podcasts, so we'll probably come back to this song. But yeah, let's get it started. Why is it titled God TLC Gold Platinum? Because I've been making music, man, since elementary, middle school. I remember there being a point I went to a neighborhood school, and there were fights and there was bullying and there's a lot of violence. I remember the school being, us being at school and having to hide under our tables because the teachers are telling us, oh, gunshots are going off. Everyone were outside in recess and we heard gunshots and violence. And the teachers run us into the school, into the church. Um, and, that was an environment. It was just very violent. When it would snow, because I did go to school in the Midwest. When it would snow, we were so used to violence that we would go up on the snow mountains and have royal rumbles. So imagine these elementary, middle school kids throwing themselves off. Like it's football mixed with hockey and wrestling. And hey, if you knew any discipline, you used it. And whoever was the last one standing on top of the mountain won a mountain of snow. But kids are throwing each other off, landing on the hard, cold pavement. And gladly to say, I'm grateful that I'm champ. I remember champ. So yeah, I held my own. So our second song here, Chakra Vitamin, it was actually originally titled Chakra Chakra, um, because of the chorus is another super positive song. Um, Chakra Vitamin. I just want people to do the research. You listen to a song, and then afterwards, if you're inspired to do research, like, whoa, chakra, wow, vitamins, wow, like, what are these concepts? What do they have in common? Health, spiritualism. Um, and I say spiritualism in the context of a lot of some people may say that they're spiritual rather than religious or religious or spiritual or both. And I just want you to identify how you want, right? Some people say prayer, some people say manifest. So tomato, tomato, potato, potato. Let's learn from each other. Um, and one of my blogs is Go Where You Are Celebrated. And then I eventually upgraded my blog and it's titled Be Where You Are Celebrated. Because, this go, go, go culture, I did that for the longest. And then I just said, I just want to be, right? I want to build and be where you are celebrated. So, Chakra Vitamin, second song from GODTLC, Gold Platinum. Um, Maybe I can share a little bit here. Chakra. What's your chakra? And I go through all the chakras. Um, and I often ask people, hey, what chakra do you feel you're in? And people think about that for a while because it's a very hard question to to uh um to answer. And yeah, I've had different conversations just getting to know. You say chakra, someone says what? Um, Chakra vitamin. So just because research and knowledge itself is important, it's a vitamin. So yeah, let's go to our next song. So this one actually I had to excavate, and I recently posted it. It's a third song of God TLC Gold Platinum. It's Destino, and it's a song, believe it or not, that I had saved from. I believe I was maybe a freshman in high school when I wrote and recorded this song and performed this song all over the world. Destino, and I had never put it in an album. It was always like mixtape, but it was only mixtape because I would create songs and never solidify the album. It would just be free floating songs. And this song has a huge story of me going to the studio, of, having one of my first official legal jobs and saving my money and going to the only professional studio I felt comfortable going to, like a legit like studio, not like like there was this mall, Mitchell Mall. Maybe some of you have heard about it. They had a little like pop shop studio. Someone had their laptop, and yeah, that's a hustle. But I wanted to go to an entrepreneur, not a hustler. And I went to that, and not to knock anybody, um, because everyone has their own styles. But the studio was like what I would what I imagined, right? Like Grammy winners going to, right? Like this was a top notch studio. And I remember person's name, first name was like Brad. I'd have to look for the last name. It's hard for me to pronounce the last name. Um, but the producer had the studio, had a bunch of degrees for music, and I remember creating the instrumental with them and the studio. I brought my friends who also made music. I wrote everything, and I had a singer sing a certain part, but it's all original, my instrumental. Um, and it was my first experience creating an instrumental. Like I would dabble with my keyboard and piano, drums and all that, and record it. But this was the first studio, like official Grammy studio experience. And I believe the studio had a bunch of like prestigious awards as well. So I felt, that this song could definitely, definitely. have potential for many, many accolades. So it's a song that I wrote and performed, and I'll share some with you right now. La melodía de la calle, mi pasión es ser cantante, mi talento es ser un rapper. Yo voy a todas en los guantes. And that's all I'll share. I want to keep singing, but yeah, that's what I have for you. Those three songs right now. I suggest you get it. These are all good songs. It's all positive songs. It's like hip hop and reggaeton, and I have dabbled in country. Um, I have dabbled in rock. I have dabbled in instrumentals. I have dabbled in dubstep, in techno, every genre. Because I write and I'm inspired by a certain sort of melody or instrumental or beat, then there's no limits, you know. So here we are. I got Tender Loving Care. You are part of my podcast. Now, as you know, we are anthropologists and we are writers and readers and teachers and educators and entrepreneurs. And we are also doing research on our platinum cubic zirconia diamonds necklace. And I haven't been able to find it. And I haven't heard from any of you that you've been able to find it. So I don't know how else to describe it. I've asked Google on many occasions, hey, can you help me find this necklace? I want to be able to see if it still exists out there. Was only one created? Was only one made? But it's platinum from what I gathered. Platinum silver with beautiful diamond cubic zirconias, and that's what I around the same price that I paid for. Um, I don't know how else to describe this. So I'm going to copy the title here, and we're going to do a round of searching for this necklace. I don't expect to find it. I really don't. And I don't mind holding on to this necklace. But if someone out there feels that, you know, this necklace is for you for any reason or another, energy or vibrations, or, you know, it's just a calling. You see, it's like me walking into the jewelry shop and saying, yeah, that's mine. It's one of my first paychecks, my first job. Hey, go ahead. And I've done some research on gold. I've done some research on platinum and silver. Yeah, there's a lot more research to be done. And if you are an expert or you have knowledge, feel free to contact me. We can get it started and collaborate, connect. So, yeah, I'm not finding it here. Now, before we conclude this search for this beautiful necklace, and how do you describe it? Maybe you have a different way of describing it. Maybe you think that, oh, well, you shouldn't describe it like a platinum cubic zirconia diamonds necklace, a pen. Describe it like this or that. Let me know how you would describe it because I'm here searching so we can add as much information on this product as possible. And let's say, let's just switch it to Jerusalem cross. That's it. I want to learn more about the Jerusalem cross. Is a heraldic cross and Christian cross variant consisting of a large cross potent surrounded by four smaller Greek crosses. So this is a multicultural emblem. Wow. Yep. So that one's very unique. Just blue topaz. So that makes me question of well, ours might have blue topaz as well. Um, because it looks very similar to that. Yep. And that's a General crystal, blue topaz. So we have blue topaz on it. So maybe we found a keyword here. Blue topaz. That one's very similar. And this one here, but this one has like these rubies, sapphire.